and the Transformational Foundation and all its successors tapped on it to bring Lagos to where we are. So if you're talking about what did Africa do? If we look at it, that is nothing to write home about. We talk about
you've talked about your party.
Okay, I'll start like this.
Or you think everything is okay really in Nigeria in the last 8 years? Maybe we'll start from there.
Every nation has her own challenges, and we have ours. But the Buhari administration have succeeded in combating these challenges. It's not easy. We came from recession, entered into COVID-19 pandemic, into global inflation. We went through a whole lot of things. And this government has succeeded in combating it.
Oh! Voila! Selling Tinubu is a big work. I'm telling you, one of the most tedious, one of the most frustrating assignment in Nigeria now is selling Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima's ticket to 2023. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. Jesus! You know, so they stand man for mark. You cannot say any word without stuttering. You are seeing that these people cannot even deliberately, consciously, effortlessly, and conveniently communicate what they are selling. Because they know that whether or not they come on TV, they come on radio, they write about it on Twitter, on Facebook, or they do video on Instagram, or they are doing live, whatever, whether or not the realities cannot be thrown away, it stares at them. They look at the camera to lie, but behind the camera, they are seeing the clear-cut pictures. They are going to use money to buy, to fuel their car, or then to pay for cab, or then to... How much is the dollar? At this moment, see, I'm telling you, if you see a Bola Ahmed Tinubu supporter hug the person, they need a hug because they are going through a lot. For us, we have confined ourselves to the problem. We have realized that there is so much eminent problem, but then we are seeing a brighter future. For these guys, the future is not bright. For us, there is light at the end of the tunnel. For them, there is no light even in the toilet. By the way, all that being put together, these guys are selling. See, even Buhari doesn't deserve the selling you are selling. Because you know why? Like I said in one of my previous video, because of the fact that you need to sell Tinubu, one of the things you have to do is not to desell Buhari, because that will be deselling the ticket of the party. So what they are doing so much is that and this is a clear-cut indication of the kind of politics these guys are playing. As Buhari done well, even Buhari know. There's a video of Aisha, but I think I'll look for it, where she was apologizing to Nigerians that the party has not done well. But somebody, that is for a first lady to apologize, but somebody is in a corner declaring that Buhari has done well. You see the problem? That is it. Because they send them WhatsApp messages to go on the air and write. They don't care. Whether it's Ajuri or is this girl, all of them, they are going through the same problem. Watch these videos. Watch them in full. And just laugh. Laugh. Share this video. Let's ask Nigerians and tag these people. Are you really living well? Are Nigerians proud of this government? Can we successfully say that we have had a president or a government that has put us into their actions and plans? Can we say that Buhari's 7 years is only better than Jonathan's years? I am not a fan of Jonathan. I've said it here and done. I have always said it. Jonathan messed up. He got too much support to have done what he did. Well, however, looking back at comparisons, you cannot compare Jonathan's government and then Buhari's government. Like Dele said, comparing Tinubu and Peter Obi is like comparing light and darkness. The two governments, successive governments, though they have not done enough, you cannot still compare them. So now these same people that are saying that Buhari has done, we are requesting for us to support Tinubu. Is that not clear? Is that not vividly clear? Is that not clear like the inscription Menem? Let's share the video. Let's share this video and let it get to them. Ask them. Ask Nigerians. Let's ask the common Nigerians. Are you living well? Are you proud of this government? Do you want to now give this government a second chance after this failure? My pikin fail go repeat class. Not be this kind of government. You tell them say, stay away, go to repeat nursery. You cannot, because this is failure. Advise or withdraw. APC, advise or withdraw. Leave yourself. Share this video and let it get to them. And I'm saying this to those of you that are AP supporters coming to this world to lay claims to anything. Whereas you are defending your candidate, but the reality stares you on your face that this government has failed. And even Tinubu is going to be a Buhari pro-mass. Keep deceiving yourself. Good night and share.
So why would you want an APC candidate to also take over the realms of power where the president is stopped at the moment, where some people have been agitating that things haven't really gone well?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'll start like this.
Or you think everything is okay really in Nigeria in the last 8 years? Maybe we'll start from there.
Every nation has her own challenges, and we have ours. But the Buhari administration have succeeded in combating these challenges. It's not easy. We came from recession, entered into COVID-19 pandemic, into global inflation. We went through a whole lot of things. And this government has succeeded in combating. It's not easy to manage the economy. We are the highest importers of rice. As of the last PDP era, now you see we are the lowest as a nation in Africa. What do? We went into agriculture, bringing the necessary infrastructure to enable food security and food productivity. And we can be able to feed ourselves from what we are able to cultivate. Now coming further, why should a progressive government still come in to rule this nation? Because the Buhari administration have succeeded in setting foundation of infrastructural development. The second Niger bill will soon be commissioned. We have the seaports all over. We have the dry port in Kaduna. We have a whole lot of improvement. We are not neglecting the challenges. It is there, but we have succeeded in uplifting Nigeria if we want to tell ourselves the truth. Forget what mainstream media is trying to tarnish and diminish the image of APC as a party. We did more than what PDP did in the last 16 years. We came in, met a whole lot of debt. Yes, we went into borrowing because we are trying to put a whole lot of infrastructure on ground so that the next coming administration will have a leverage to bring more prosperity, enable the prosperity of the coming.
Thank you very much for the time, Sheon, and the privilege of being on your program. This is the first time I've joined you since, of course, I became SSA in 2019. I will just respond to Mr. Bola's statement by dissecting what it is he said and what it is that's true. And obviously, what he said was absolutely false. If you look at our manifesto, you would find that on page 5, for example, when we begin to open up our plans for security in the country, we made it very clear on page 5 that we are building on the foundations laid by President Muhammadu Buhari in terms of the massive armament that has been conducted under his administration over the last 7 years, not just in the Air Force with new fighter jets that were procured through government-to-government transactions with various countries, including the United States government, which was actually signed in a meeting between President Donald Trump at that time and President Muhammadu Buhari. We're not chasing mid-level bureaucrats in Washington for clout chasing or prestige chasing. We go to get things done. We go when we need to get things done. I think, on the other hand, if you look at the manifesto, you would also find on page 27, when we talked about agriculture and His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's plans for agriculture, he makes clear on page 27 that we are building on the successful foundation laid by President Muhammadu Buhari in agricultural reform in the country. We went from a situation in 2015 where we were the largest importer of rice in Africa. Today, we are the largest producer of rice in Africa. We have gone from about 5 rice mills in the country to well over 30 rice mills in the country. We have invested massively in processing. We have, obviously, everybody knows through the Anchor Borrowers Program what we've done with over 1 trillion naira given out to millions of farmers across this country in low interest capital to enable them to rapidly increase their production, not just in rice, but in wheat, cocoa, and many other staple items. If you look at the manifesto, anybody who has read the manifesto, which Mr. Bola proved to the nation, he did not in his statement, you would know that we're very clear about the fact that we are proud of President Muhammadu Buhari's record. What we are saying, though, is that His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his name is not President Muhammadu Buhari. He is not President Muhammadu Buhari, and his plans are not going to be the same. What we are saying is that with the foundations that have been laid, we are now going to accelerate those reforms, and we are going to make modifications that will add value to the reforms that had already been undertaken across sectors. Now, with that said, I think it's also important to note that when you find, spokespersons of a particular party always pointing fingers at somebody else and always trying to make, issue innuendos and speculation about other parties, it's because they know they don't have a record to run on. They don't. Look, I have a question for anybody who sympathizes with the People's Democratic Party. It's a very simple question. Can you just tell Nigerians in the 16 years that your party had from 1999 to 2015, can you name those federal expressways, 100-kilometer federal expressways that you started construction on and you completed construction on? Can you tell us also those rail lines, the high-speed rail lines, or even the slow old colonial era rail lines that you started rehabilitation on and finished rehabilitation on in 16 years? Can you also tell us about social investment programs that you started and saw into implementation in 16 years with double the wealth and double the time? The reason why there's no genius in PDP that can answer affirmatively to those questions is because you cannot manufacture reality. Unfortunately, their history is their history and they cannot run away from it. So what they want to do is distract the country from what they failed to do by pointing false flags and fingers at the ruling party that has a record to run on. We can tell you that we inherited 5 international airports in this country at a completion percentage of 11%. And we can tell you that by the end of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, the Port Harcourt International Airport, which was completed in 2018 and commissioned, the Abuja International Airport that was completed in 2017 and commissioned, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos that was completed in early 2022 and commissioned into use. And then, of course, Aminu Kano in Kano is going to be commissioned, I believe, before the end of this year or in the early months of next year. And then, of course, the Ekano Ibiam International Airport, where we built a new 10 billion naira runway of international standard, and the new international airport terminal will also be completed. My point is that we have a record that we can run on that is tangible and verifiable. Challenge the PDP to name what they've done.